So with this small video clip, we are going to start with the presentation. So I'd like to call Mahesh Gangayi. So Mahesh is an Associate Director of Innovation and Knowledge Management Group at Mindtree Limited. He has over 15 years of experience in the software industry in various roles across pure players and multinational companies. He has experience in the area of knowledge management, innovation, QA, testing, and Six Sigma. He is an alumni of IGATE, specialized in software system. He is the lead architect of Mindtree's value add methodology and previously managed large QA and testing group at Honeywell Technology Solution Lab. So welcome to Mahesh. So we are going to start with presentation now. Okay.
Thank you for the great introduction. So very good afternoon to all of you. So I'm very honored and privileged to be here to talk about some of the Mindtree practices around KP. I'm also very excited about what IGATE has been doing in the KP space. Some of the practices like smart grids, the gas, some of the other practices to create a very structure. I think pretty much the practices also. Let me in a moment ask each of you in this room to describe your reaction to our topic for today. Okay, you could describe it in one word or one sentence. Okay, your reaction to this topic for today. Okay, so just use one word. So I will start with myself itself. I could say it as exciting topic. Okay. So let's start. One person in each table could use one word. Like, what's your reaction to the topic? Critical to the business. Critical to the business. Okay. Sure. Certainty. Okay. Sure.
It sounds like business continuity.
Business continuity.
Sounds like business continuity.
Sounds like business continuity. Okay. Yeah.
Is it strategy for the whole business to move forward?
Okay.
Sustainment.
Sustainment. Industry. Not funny, right? Yeah.
For a business, certainly your community has to be knowledgeable. So, I mean, like, kind of enabler.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yes, so lead on the strategy is Ravi.
Knowledge is a business strategy for business growth.
Sure. What is the strategy for business? Nice. Yeah, so my name is Mahesh. I'm working for Mindtree for the past 6+ years. I'm part of KM function in Mindtree. My areas of interest are KM innovation, QA testing, and Six Sigma. Because currently I take care of something called value, customer innovation. What we do for customers. What kind of innovation that we could bring in for customers. Internally it is called as value add, but it's essentially customer innovation. That's the program I take care of. Okay. So this is a brief about Mindtree. Mindtree is basically we have offices in almost 25+ countries. So we have almost 40+ Fortune 500 customers. Okay. Those are I think it's 210 or 208 active customers. We clock almost and we have close to 13,000 plus Mindtree mines. Okay, that's a brief about Mindtree. So headquarters in Bangalore itself. We have office in Gainesville and other places also. Okay. So those are few practice service lines we have in Mindtree. We have present in almost all the like it could be cloud, it could be so all SMAC also we are there. SMAC practice are very good practice. Big teams in Mindtree itself. And so those are the few top customers we have in Mindtree. So you could see like Unilever, all see top CPG companies, FMCG companies. You will also see top automotive companies as well. You will also see top travel customers. That includes society airlines also, airline customers also. And so those are the few intellectual property or frameworks that we have in Mindtree. Okay. Some of them is, for example, M-Promo. M-Promo is basically a mobile-based promotion, portal. Okay. So if you are a CPG customer, how do I promote my products? Just a little portal which is being used by all the top CPG companies. We also have something called EM-Defy. It's the latest, probably a couple of years old. It's basically a cloud platform for virtual data centers. Okay. So that is the one IP that got created out of our something called 550 program. It's an entrepreneurship program in Mindtree, and so that EM-Defy got created by that program. So there are other IPs also. I just thought, let me, because some of you might be new to Mindtree, so I thought maybe I'll give a brief about Mindtree also. So I mean, what do we mean by knowledge continuity? Because we talk about KM, we talk about yes, we need to make sure knowledge is not residing to one person or so. So how do you make sure knowledge is continued despite a member leaving the project or so? So my topic for today is how does knowledge continuity ensure continuity in the business also, not just continuity in the project, or how do we ensure business is continued despite creation of also. Okay. So what are the types of knowledge typically you have? So whenever you talk about a project, you talk about operational knowledge. Operational knowledge could include knowledge about processes, knowledge about tools or techniques. Knowledge about some of the change management aspects. Okay. Good knowledge about some of the, let's say, process improvements also. Okay. That is more about operational knowledge. Okay, in the project or account. Okay. So coming back to technical knowledge, what kind of technical knowledge? What kind of technology that I am using in the project. Okay. So let's say, so I have taken one of the project within Mindtree. It's done for insurance customer. So we had used something called rational rules to ERV. So there are a few technical aspects when we talk about a particular project also. What kind of databases you are using? What kind of server technologies or client technology that you are using? Those are typical technical knowledge that you talk about. Okay. So how do I ensure technical knowledge is continued despite anything that happens to a product? Okay. So it could be some specifications and function documents or business requirement documents. Those are a few examples of technical knowledge. Okay. So what else? Once you have operational knowledge, once you have technical knowledge, you talk about functional knowledge. Functional knowledge of the application, or maybe about the domain itself. Okay. So before application knowledge, functional knowledge, what does it comes to picture? You also talk about application knowledge. Before functional knowledge, you talk about application knowledge. So application knowledge is mostly about how part of it. How does insurance works? How does For example, individual, if he wants to get an insurance, how can that be done? Okay, if insurance need to be taken for a certain corporation or organization, how does that work? So typically, how part is mostly covered in application knowledge. But when it comes to functional knowledge, it's more about how and why part. Why insurance? Why should I insure myself? Why should I insure my family? Why should I insure my company? Why should I insure my country? Why should I insure my assets? Okay, how can that be done? So how can I insure my company? How do I insure my assets? Those are the few aspects around functional knowledge. So those are the 4 aspects about knowledges when it comes to particular project or anything actually. Okay. So these are the very essential things that you need to capture. Whenever you are executing certain project, or whenever you are into some sales group, or if you're part of some strategy group, how do I do it? All these things are covered or not? Okay, is there a common place where my group can go back and refer to this knowledge? Despite anything that is happening on the ground. Okay, that's what is we mean by credibility of knowledge. Okay, so what else? Is this sufficient? We also talk about domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is different than functional knowledge. Domain knowledge is mostly about why part alone. Why taxation? Why insurance? Why reinsurance? Those stuff. So those are the few things when it comes to domain knowledge. So domain knowledge is very much essential because that will build your skill set of your teams. Your organization learns also over a period of time. Organization learning happens with these aspects. Okay, because this is mostly project dependent knowledge. This is mostly project independent of knowledge. Okay, so today you might be executing certain projects. These 3 things are very much essential in predicting the project itself. You talked about project space. I think these things are very much essential. Have I captured project specific knowledge as a part of these things? Project independent knowledge is what we talk about when it comes to functional order. In fact, in Mindtree, some of our certifications, something like insurance 101 or travel 101 have come out of these things. Okay. Tomorrow you might have a certain more global 500 customers on insurance, but this this knowledge still holds good. The continuity will still be there despite whatever project that comes in or goes out. Okay. Those are 5 aspects when you talk about knowledge continuity. Okay. Just thought give a holistic picture on what things will come in. So I just took up one insurance project in Mindtree and talked about various aspects around these things. Okay. So what are the typical we talked about knowledge basics. So what are typical risks that you foresee, right? So let's say you have something called technical risk. What it means is you have a certain technology that you're using, the tools that you're using in the project. Are there any technical risks that I'm taking in the project or in the account? Okay. Are there any operational risks? Does my process is a disabler or not? Okay. Those are the few operational risks also. Are there any domain risks? Okay. Is my organization well enough have the capability or domain knowledge to execute this whole project itself? Those are a few risks also that we talk about. When it comes to business risks, may not be internal in nature, mostly external in nature. How does my business get impacted because of some external factors? Some of the it could be some improvements that are happening on the technology, or it could be some improvements happening on the business system. Right. So, for example, let's take a company like Kodak. Right? So Kodak is basically film manufacturing company. There is a technology movement that is happening, digitalization. So that's a bigger business risk. So have the organization look at that kind of risk also or not? Okay. Knowledge risks are very much essential. So we need to keep those risks in mind and to make sure your performance of your team is well enough. Have these green risk are captured or not, what are the mitigation steps I have in place to make sure these things are avoided in the product. Okay. Whatever we talked about are more of a internal risks. Do I have some kind of external risks also? Okay. So you might go back to some consultancy companies like McKinsey or Deloitte, or say ask them what are the trends that are happening around the industry. What are the trends that are happening around technology? They might come back and say, hey, there is a software-defined entity. So there is something called Internet of Things that are happening. So that could impact your business. How we look at it and add that on as well. So they might come back and say, there is a web scale IT that is a bigger trend that is happening. So that may not be the trend in 2030. So how will look at it about? Okay, those are the few external risks that you need to look into. Okay. So how does it happen? You might have market research team or market intelligence team who could look at it, and that could also be taken care of. Okay. So how do we do it? I mean, so being in the company, like these kinds of knowledge sharing sessions. So can I learn something from some other companies? How does that company did it in the past? Okay. So what has worked for them, what not worked for us? So can I get some of best practices around those things and learn from them as well? Okay. So K-Cafe is a very good platform to do that actually. Okay. So how do we do it internally? So in Mindtree, we have a very good, excellent tool called Knowledge Map. Okay, Knowledge Map is basically a structured representation of knowledge needs of a project or account. Okay, it's a structured representation of project knowledge needs or account knowledge needs. So Knowledge Map is basically you look at the project, okay, as a unit. You look at the account as a unit, and you assess what are the gaps I have, okay, on the knowledge plan, and you identify the opportunity to reuse also. Let's say I have a project on travel. I have I lack skills on travel domain. So that's the knowledge gap you identified. So is there a other travel customer which I have served in the past? Are there experts around that? Can I reuse them to make sure I bring in that expertise in the current project? Okay. So that's the knowledge map for you. Okay. And so that's the overall format of knowledge map. Okay. So you have something called knowledge areas. You have something called knowledge needs of the project or account. And what are the sources of knowledge? Where do I get this knowledge? It could be internal in nature, or it could be outside also. It could be internal experts or outside outside experts. It could be internal repository, or it could be an outside repository as well. Okay, and you assess the gap of severity of the gap. What I mean is is the knowledge gap is high severity or low severity or so, depending upon where I stand. Okay, so typically what we do is we rate the knowledge gaps. We say it as red, amber, or green based on the severity of the knowledge gap itself. Okay, and so there we have basically to identify knowledge gaps in the project or account, and make sure you identify the action items also to make sure those gaps are fulfilled, action are taken, and you also define a timeline to make sure those gaps are implemented. Make sure those gaps are addressed well on time. Okay. So that's the knowledge map. I think some of you might have already heard about this tool and knowledge map itself. It's not just about project knowledge map. It's also about account knowledge map also. As an account for this customer, okay, this is knowledge need I have. Irrespective of a number of projects that I serve for this customer, this is a common knowledge gap I have. So I should as well take some action on those gap as well. Okay, so that's the game map for it. And so going ahead, I think I just had a small story or an example around how did we use knowledge map to make sure knowledge content is happened. Okay, so this is one of the big project for one of our insurance customer. So we took up a knowledge area called, let's say, functional area. Okay, functional area is the area of knowledge area, and we identified what are the specific knowledge needs I have. Okay, let's say I need a insurance underwriting understanding of that processes around insurance underwriting. So once I identify the specific knowledge need, what are the sub areas? Under insurance underwriting, I need to understand surety business. Surety business. So how do I do it? I have a BA already. I have a BA called Ready and Chip. So let's do a use case mapping work. Yes, Ready understands surety business. Let's get that knowledge from him and build some kind of a use case map. Okay. And right now, CVAT is very high because only Ravi knows surety business, not nobody else. So that's a high CVAT because it's a pretty big team. You were talking about 40 50 plus people, and only Ravi knows. And it's a big risk. Right? So that's a big system management also. And let's take this area. Functional area. How does UI workflow happen in the surety business? And 60% of so can I come to the site map or wireframes to kind of build this this thing in the process area. So process map. So this is the action item that is being identified. Obviously, there are owners who will identify to address this need. Okay, that's a bigger K-map. More like a shorter version of the K-map itself. Okay, so over a period of time, those actions were taken, and the high severity gap, honestly gap has come down to lower severity because actions have been taken around those aspects. So how does the action taken? So for the first knowledge gap that we had, we went ahead and some few guys built up something called use case map, around the surety business. Okay, so this is a very good knowledge repository. Anybody who will comes into that project, a surety project, will be able to look at this use case map, and they should be able to understand how does the surety business works. Okay, and so this is one small part of the use case map itself. Okay.
So just one question here. So this is a reusable use case for the surety business with respect to every bond or something like that. So which means within a business, you will be able to reuse this use case. Is that what you are saying?
So this was done for one of the project for insurance customer. Okay. So having said that, it can be used for other insurance customers, probably with those minor modifications. It's more of a project-specific use case map. Okay, will not be specific use case map. Okay, obviously people went back and modified this use case map and made sure it can be used across projects also. Okay. So this is one of the feedback that we got from that project manager because they also refer to they took this use case map and they reused this map for their employees also. Okay. It's not just for our employees; it's also for customer employees. Okay. Very good knowledge here. So how did we address the second knowledge gap that we had? Very high severity. And we thought let's build some kind of a wireframes, okay, around that process area. So this is a segment that we built over time. So all this is built on a portal that we have. We have something called Project Space. It's a project collaboration platform where we also have something like wiki forums, discussion forums like that, and so these things could be built on the portal itself. Okay. And a lot of collaboration. It's a collaborative, effort also. I could go back and edit this use case map, and somebody could do it. Somebody could come back and comment on the use case map. All those collaboration aspects can happen. Okay. So those are a few examples. So how do we? So we also mentioned about few people holding the knowledge with them. How do we make sure those things could be shared for rest 60 plus people? So we have the same portal. We could do some kind of a brown bag knowledge sharing sessions. That could be structured on the portal itself, and come back to the portal and say, this is a video that I have captured when this knowledge sharing session happened. So that tomorrow some more people join the project, they could refer back to the video itself. They don't necessarily have those knowledge share sessions again. They could go back and refer those videos on the portal itself. Okay. So that's the snapshot of the grown dad knowledge share sessions from the portal itself. How was it done in the past? It was very unstructured, and how are we doing it today? Okay, that's the small example. So yeah, sorry.
How to take care of the validity of it? Like, yes, a training happened, only a something in the domain of project or process, something is changed. Then whenever the new user is looking at it.
Exactly.
So how do you take care of the validity?
So there's no one short process that we have. For example, for some accounts, what we made sure, what we did is anybody who joins the project, they will go back to this content and they will refer back because that's when the assimilation will happen. When the assimilation is happening, they will find certain info or knowledge which is irrelevant or maybe incorrect. So we made sure the process is laid down for them to go back and find the content also. Okay. So that's the way. It's a bit different in a different context, but we address it in an assimilation way. There are different ways also. Not just, for example, you might also do some kind of reverse scaling. With reverse scaling, you might ask people to go back and update this content. Or you could also build some kind of a data document to address these needs as well. So we talked about knowledge continuity, mostly around project aspects. How do I make sure a project is well executed by capturing relevant knowledge? How do I make sure this account is persistent across over a period of time? There are many aspects that we talk about, right? When we talk about business, it's also about is my strategy good enough? Okay, so is my marketing is good enough? My sales is good enough? Okay, so these are so consider some of these facts. Okay, so on an average, one company, S&P, finance company is being replaced every once in 2 weeks. Okay, you take an example of Kodak. You take an example of it could be some semiconductor company, national semiconductor. You take an example of any IT companies. They came in and disappeared. Okay, got disrupted over a period of time. Okay. So industry growth, it was 50 to 60% in 1990s, but it has slowed down to almost 20 to 30% now. Okay, almost lesser than that. Companies are facing more headwinds than tailwinds. Okay, what it means is, there's a more disruptive strategy that is happening. Okay, a few years back you had laptops, now you have mobile phones. Even mobile phones you have smartphones, and tomorrow you might have cloud-based smartphones and something like that. Okay, so more headwinds are happening. So you need to make sure you catch up on those things also. Okay. Expectations of customers is increasing day by day. So what he's saying is just doing some kind of a productivity improvements, or doing some kind of effort reduction, or bringing some cost improvements will not help me at all. You need to bring in more value to me. Okay. Those are a few things, expectations which is been coming from various customers. New competition. You might have seen a lot of examples. For Apple, Google was not a competitor in the past. It's a big competitor now. Okay. So like that, for IT companies, it is not a competitor, but it is a competitor in a sense. Okay. New competitions are coming up, not just in service industry. Product companies are competing with service industry also. Okay. Those are the few facts that I wanted to show you. So look at this data. So I have year-on-year, average lifespan of a company. Okay. So what has happened is, in 1970s, the average age of the company was somewhere around 60 plus years. Okay, and if you take 7 years, turnover, from 60 years, it has reduced to almost 30, 35 plus in somewhere around 75, 1975. Okay, and it has almost reduced to now 18 plus years. So what is happening is, if you take 2011 example, almost in 2011, 30 plus companies are out of this S&P 500 index completely. Those are the companies which have gone out of the this index. So they could have gone out of because of multiple reasons. It could be to decline the market value. Let's take example of something like Netflix. Netflix is a bigger market decline on the S&P 500 index. Or take some acquisitions might have happened. Okay, like National Semiconductor. National Semiconductor was acquired by Texas Instruments. Hence it got disappeared from this index. Okay, there are multiple reasons, but a lot of disruptions are happening in the industry. Okay, almost you will see. I just show you this figure as well. There are new companies who have entered the index. Okay, new companies who have come into the S&P index, 500 index. Those are companies which are exited the index. So you see examples like Radio Shack. Radio Shack is a very powerful, very top market capitalized company in US. Got disappeared because of the decline in the market value. Okay? And you also see PeopleSoft acquired by somebody. Okay. You also see something like Compaq acquired by somebody. And you also see something like Kodak. Kodak is disappeared. Zero market value. Almost zero market value. Okay. So why is it happening? Why it is happening? What are the reasons which this is happening? Okay. So it's so what we do. I just wanted to talk about what we do internally in Mindtree. How we address, how do we make sure we address these things, okay? And so we have something called customer innovation framework, okay? So customer innovation framework is a kind of a inventing model to address internal collaboration within communities and external aspects also, okay? So it's a three-phase model. We call it as a scan, focus, act methodology. So this is a inventive way of solving your customer business problems. Okay, and so there are two aspects that we address here. One is continual improvements, and second is business transformation ideas. Okay, when it comes to continual improvements, we talk about process improvements, we talk about operational efficiencies, we talk about productivity improvements, effort reduction. Those are a few things that will come under continual improvement plans or ideas. When it comes to business transformation ideas, we talk about revenue, getting better revenue for customers. Could be coming up with new delivery models or finance models, or it could be about getting a completely new market for customers. Those are a few things to talk about when it comes to business transformation ideas. Okay, this is the framework that through which we address those aspects. Okay, so as with any companies, you see a lot of things that will happen on continuous improvement. People will be there to improve processes. People are there to improve productivities. People are there to improve efficiency in the project, effectiveness in the project. But the second aspect is not happening to a larger extent. Okay, so recently, what we did is this is just a brief about each phase in the methodology itself. Okay. So recently we had something called osmosis. Osmosis is basically our celebration of technology. It's an annual event that will happen. It happened somewhere in February this month. And one of the track that we had was customer innovation ideas. Okay, we call it as a one-night jam. And so it's basically about inviting ideas which will impact your customers. Okay, and when you classify those ideas, what you see is these are the incremental ideas, and those are the step change ideas, transformative ideas. So you see 90% of the ideas are falling under incremental ideas. Okay. So when I say incremental ideas, those are the continuous improvement ideas. It could be profit improvement, it could be effort reduction, cost management, those aspects. There are few ideas which are transformative in nature. Okay. Which will impact your customer business directly. Okay. So this is very much important that this needs to be done. It's also important that those ideas are also looked into. Okay. So what we're trying to do right now is we pick up those ideas, and put it to a formal incubation process. Okay. Because those ideas are need to be a lot of effort need to be put into before we take those ideas to back to customers. Because it could be in the form of prototypes, wireframes, or it could be in the form of a demo. Okay, so that's the formal incubation process. It might be happening in a different form, in various companies. But so this is the way we classify the ideas internally, and we identify those top ideas and we put it into a formal process. Okay, and those are a few color indicates the customer forms. Okay. So any questions so far? Yeah.
What do the numbers indicate?
The number is we have portal where we maintain all these ideas. Okay. All these ideas logged there, and the entire idea is tracked in that portal itself. The number indicates the idea ID on the portal. Okay. So any other question from? Yeah. So that's all I had to talk about on this topic. So I just had a small video on the osmosis event that we had earlier this year. It's a 2-minute video. I'll just run it for you. Later on, we can open up for Q&A.
When we started 10 years back, we said we need a festival, which is a celebration of the nerds and the geeks in us. This is Mahesh's way of paying our tribute to the technologically savviest people in the company.